Todd, I want to sell my stuff at the Bazaar. What do I have to do?
Sell your stuff at the Bazaar. Great. So first thing you need to do, gather your stuff and get this form. The first thing you do is get this form. We have them available in store at Batavia and Roselle, and we also have them available through various links. Sam, you can say at the end of the video where the links are. And it's very important that you fill out one of these for each individual item that you have. And by one of these, I mean one of the labels. There's 4 on this page, but we want to make sure we have one for each lot of items that you're bringing in. So for example, if you've got 10 Space Marines and you're going to put them all in a single baggie and sell them as one single lot, then you take one of these sections and just fill it out exactly as it reads, right? So seller name, it is important that it's as it appears in our system. So if in our system you're James, but we all call you Jim, please put James. And if you need to know that, we can tell you that. Obviously, we can just look it up. The page number and item number. So page number is referencing the master list, which I'll go over here in a minute. And the item number is obviously just 2, 3, 4 as you submit them. So that way we have an idea as to where it is on the page when we're trying to look those items up. Item description. Be specific, but you don't have to write a book, right? So be specific enough so that we know exactly what it is you're putting in there, the number of items, painted or unpainted, a quick description of what it is so we can tell and verify. And then importantly, the Saturday price and Sunday price. If you haven't seen me or heard me talk about this before, it is an option. You absolutely do not have to have different prices in there. So for example, if you want $50 for your Space Marines, put $50 in your Saturday price, and then just consider if it doesn't sell on Saturday for $50, what you might be willing to take for it on the second day if you really want them to go away. If you don't really care, it's 50 or nothing, then put 50 in both prices. Both places, but we recommend you put a lower price in that second number. Often that can help you get the first price by having a lower number in that Sunday space. People see that even though it's going for $50, they could wait a day and get it for $35, but they get a little bit of that fear of missing out. And sure, they could wait and come back and get it tomorrow for $35, but it's first come, first served. And if it's not there, then they're going to miss out. So I feel that is important. But again, it is 100% optional. And of course, if you have any questions, need any advice, or some help on what good prices would be, we're certainly there to help you out with that. We will have a member of staff available during the entire drop-off period to specifically help you with packaging and labeling and pricing if you need it. It is important that each lot be packaged in a small enough space so that we can get a lot of things into our store, because obviously we have a limited amount of space. We don't want 10 painted Space Marines on a box that's bigger than this clipboard, right? If they fit in a baggie and it's safe to put them in a baggie, then that would be ideal. If you need help with that as well, we can help you with that. Ziploc bags work great. We are going to be stapling the top of all the Ziploc bags. I would not recommend you do that ahead of time. Let us look at the items when you bring them in to make sure that everything's good to go before you staple anything. And we will have staples available as a stapler, and we can do that, help you with that when you bring the stuff in. So the other part of the labeling of things is the master list. So the master list here is important because it helps us to make sure that we keep track of everything, and it's a security thing, and to make sure that nothing gets missed. And if we have to look for something, we can find it easily. So you see on the master list here, again, your name, a phone number so that we can get a hold of you. If you don't want to give us your phone number, then we do need a valid email. We should also have that in the system when you come. At the top there, it says page blank of blank. So if you only have 5 items, it'll just be page 1 of 1. If you've got 50 items and you need multiple pages, just make sure you write that at the top of each page. The credit location, R or B, it's just Roselle or Batavia. So where do you want your store credit at the end? So if you sell, $200 worth of stuff, do you want that store credit logged for you in Roselle or in Batavia, whichever you prefer? We'd prefer it for this specifically to just do it all in one location rather than split it up for everybody. If later on you need to split it up, we can cross that bridge after the fact. But please pick either Roselle or Batavia to start. And then a list of your items. So item number 1 is from your previous label, which item number it is. The same description. It can be a short form of that. It doesn't have to be the full description, just so we know what it is. And then again, your Saturday, Sunday price. And do that for every single item. And we're just, again, it's a security thing. It's a record keeping thing. We want to make sure everybody's stuff is noted and tracked, and so we can keep track of your store credit and the things that sell and make sure it's all good. So again, we'll have an employee available to help you fill that out if you need. If you want to fill it out ahead of time, that's great, but we will have to review everything that comes in. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's kind of a long answer to a short question, but it is important. And like I said, to make sure we have everything safe and secure, we will have employees, extra employees day of to help out both with checkout and just with looking for stuff and organizing things and straightening things as the day goes on. These bazaars are a lot of fun for customers because, as we always like to joke, you get to dig for value. You get to, like a rummage sale, a garage sale, flea market, whatever you want to call it, get to try to find the deal of the century there. And I promise you, I've already talked to a few people that are bringing in a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff is going to be priced to move. So even if you just come in as a shopper, there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff to find.
What's a good rule of thumb for pricing your stuff to move?
Pricing your stuff to move. So think about what the retail price would be and understand that all of these things you can buy online. So then consider, okay, well, what would this go for online at a discount? And then you're going to need to be below that significantly, and understand, especially when you're talking about miniatures and used board games and things of that nature, those commonly go for 50% or less, even if they're in pristine condition, taken well care of, and all of that is good. Still, it is considered a used item, and so just keep that in mind. And again, if you need some help with that, definitely reach out to us. I've already talked to a couple of customers who brought me in their filled out list and said, hey, how does this look? And both of those customers I've already advised. I said, I think it's good, but I think you have a chance of selling things on Sunday, but probably not on Saturday unless you reduce your prices a little bit. So, I will be realistic because, of course, all of the things that you sell, you get back in store credit. So obviously that helps the store. So I want you to make as much money as possible because that helps us make as much money as possible, supports the store too. So I will be honest with you in that. So I'm not just going to, try to tell you to lowball people just so that you sell the thing. I want you to make as much money as possible too, because it's in our best interest to help you guys out. So also keep in mind with painted items or primed items, often, unless they're really, really painted to an extremely high professional level when it comes to miniature games, that almost always reduces value of the items rather than increases the value of the items. If they're tabletop painted or even really nicely painted, the problem is it becomes somebody else's project because they have to take that stuff and either add it to their army and paint it in the same scheme, or, they have to paint to that same level to make it look the same, to match it, which often isn't easy. And again, it's kind of a project. So weirdly, really nicely painted models can sometimes be worse than just plain models that are assembled nicely and primed. So something to keep in mind. Again, we can have a longer conversation about that if you ever want to. Happy to help you out with that.
Cool. Thanks so much, Todd. We appreciate it.
See you soon.